I love that. Plus, I think I was just, before you were able to get on or connect, I know there's a lot of school-based SLPs that follow me, and I'm sure you as well, where we have to work. When I was in the schools,
Yeah.
we're working with groups, and frequently those are mixed groups. So we've got language goals along with speech goals and trying to cover all those. So that's why I love scenes. Anything, because you can make it your own for each individual child's speech goals. Like you said, you've got WH questions you can work in here. We can find things in the scene that have the target sound the child is working on.
Also, like you can have a scene. So like if you, I love Orchard Toys games, for example, and there's a similar game where you're collecting items for a shopping cart, or you're collecting lunchbox items, and they're awesome. Like people, if you know Orchard Toys, you love that game. What I wanted to do in my scene was to make sure I also had different activities, so that we're not just describing nouns. We also have a rich array of verbs.
Yeah.
Everybody is doing something, and each of the parties, they're involved in different activities. So they might be playing hide and seek, they might be going on a treasure hunt, they might be skating, and so you have automatically all these opportunities to describe what everybody's doing, work on present tense, past tense, pronouns, conjugation, all of those things.
Yeah. No, I love it. No, these are great. I'm even thinking, like, as I'm looking at skating, sliding, like I'm thinking, I love S clusters.
Flipping,
so
he's tying his skates. Yeah. Yeah, and this one especially for the S clusters, because there's star and space, all of those you know, juicy targets. So
thinking, you know, K's and G's, as like we've got koala, unicorn, like all those back sounds, all those velars.
Thank you. And you just reminded me also, kind of bonus for those of you who have Party Animals, the book, each of the boards, so this was sort of my Easter egg for speech pathologists. Each of the boards have the animals arranged according to how they're organized in the book, because chances are if you're working on K, you're also working on G, and so I have kiwi and gecko on the same board. If you're working on P, chances are you're also working on B, and so puppy, baboon, moose, those are all on the same board. You know, irrelevant for a non-speech pathologist, but for us, especially if you have the book, it really extends the learning. And on the Kickstarter, you can buy the two as a package. You can get them together.
Have that book, so I'm gonna have to be looking at that. I love when SLPs are the ones making the games, because we think of these things. I love that. That's so great. So this is fantastic. Do you feel like these are games that can kind of get you through like a half-hour session?
I think so. Especially the set's designed to carry you through an entire session. My sessions are 45 minutes, so I've done it start to finish with the What's the Sound cards, and then I follow up the story with my What's the Story. Katie did it with a group. Katie of Communication Bloom. She did it with a group, with groups in her school. She said that it took them about 15 minutes of play. And that's around what I would save at the end of my sessions for it, especially when you're doing it in a speech path mode. So we're using the game as a, you know, as a diving board that we're getting our sounds, because I was speech targets from.
And what I do with a lot of my kids is, you know, we get to play the game as the reward for working hard and learning our targets. So we can do that first, and maybe we spend 10 minutes doing that. And then even though this is the reward,
100%.
we're actually getting lots of practice as we fun. I love it. No, this is really, really cute. It's nice. You know what I like about it? It's kind of small. Like it's not big. It's a really good sized box. So tell everybody.
Sure. So I'm now on Kickstarter. I thought, Amy, it's a nice change from usually when I come and I was like, I love this game, but it's not available anymore. So this one is available. Well, should be available as long as I fund. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what Kickstarter is, because as I've been going through this, I know a lot of people are not familiar with the platform and how it works. So Kickstarter, so the game right now is only available on Kickstarter. And Kickstarter is a platform that lets people buy products before they're manufactured. And for small companies like me, where we're funding all of the art and graphic design and the design of the game and the manufacturing and shipping. It lets us create pre-sales so that we can see how interested people are in the game, and if they are interested enough, if there's enough interest to fund a Kickstarter, gives us the go-ahead, and we've raised enough to get the manufacturing going. From the buyers, that means that they get the product right out of the gate. You support local artists, and not necessarily local, but within your field, artists and creators, and you often will get the products at cheaper than retail. So my Kickstarter prices are lower than they will be once the game is produced. So it's the best time to get it.
Oh, this is like a ground floor kind of thing. So if you want this game now, now's the time to
That's
get
right.
it. Because
that's right. So you want to get it. You want to get it now. Once the Kickstarter. So we are very close to funding. The numbers are going to look a little different if you're watching from the States. We have to set the prices in the denomination where we live. So mine is in Canadian currency. The goal for my Kickstarter is $8,000, 8,000 Canadian dollars. And we're approaching 7,000 right now. So really, really close. And once the project is funded, then we've got kind of the go-ahead to go. If the project doesn't fund, this is where I really, if you're interested in the game, if you like it, this is the time to get it, because if it doesn't fund, Kickstarter is all or nothing. And so if you don't fund, you basically lose what you've raised, and you don't get the emails or contacts of all the people who had contributed. So you really want to get it to that other side. So
then do you have a certain
exactly
date?
Yeah, so I have to be funded by Wednesday. So by next Wednesday is the last day. The 23rd is the last day to contribute to the Kickstarter. And the other piece is, if you like to support speech pathologists, if you see the value of products being created by people within our field, Kickstarter is a great way to support that, because retailers are not interested in a no-name speech pathologist. Like, they don't know who we are. And if we can show, well, I put it on Kickstarter and there was this much support, it piques the interest then of retailers, and they say, okay, well, this might be something worth considering, or a speech pathologist perspective might be something worth investing in. And so it's a way to help our field also get us a little more on the map and more visibility.
I love it. It's great to know that we have just a few days that we need to go and support you and buy, because I'm going to go on today. So also send me the link so I can put it I'll put it in the details after I save this video, so that we're getting the info out to everybody, because I really do love this game. We've talked about this before. Like, I always want to know what games can I use, and frequently a lot of the games are good for like one thing or just a couple of things. And the fact that this is so versatile, and when I was traveling, I like things that are versatile, because I don't want to have to take 45 different things with me traveling, and we have a lot of itinerant SLPs there. So yeah, give me, so if you're watching this after the live, I will description, so we'll know where we can go and get this, and I'll put the date.
Thank you so much.
When we need to get it by.
I really appreciate everybody watching, and if you have any questions, I'm really easily accessible. Just send me a DM. I'm happy to answer questions about Kickstarter, questions about the game. Thank you so much for having me on, Amy.
Absolutely. I'm excited for you. This is going to be great. All right.
Have a good one.
Everybody have a good one. All right, let's try this again. Instagram.